Most marketers, most lead generators, most people have this idea in their head that the most important part of the entire sales process is the close. And if they lose a deal at the very end, they blame it on the close. I need to work on my close. I need to work on my close. I need to work on my close. It's not the problem. What I found is when you're losing deals, whatever step of the sales process you're losing them in, it's usually because you made an error in a previous step. Okay. And what I've come to find out is that the deals, at least the way that I train how to sell flat fee lead gen, these deals, we close them in what I call the setup. We close these deals before we actually get on the Zoom close at the very end. And so I always say, I say this repeatedly, the close is in the setup. Okay. Here's what I mean. And this is what I teach. We already know what objections are going to come up. We already know. We've done this before. We know that people are going to want to talk to their partner, right? Or their spouse or whatever. We know that people are going to object to price, most likely. We know that people are going to object to a contract. We know that people are going to want to think about it. We know that all these different things, like we know they're going to come. So why not overcome these objections before they ever come up? So what we do in my process is we literally list out the objections. Then we come up with a solution. How are we going to overcome this objection before the actual call? And that is what we do. So before I get on a Zoom call at the very end, I know with a 95% accuracy and certainty that I'm going to close that deal. No lie. Because I already know they've shown the signs, they've shown the buying signs, they've given me the reactions, and they've given me the responses that I know lead to a deal. So let me give you an example. One of the things that I do is I make sure that I'm talking to multiple people. Okay. I make sure I'm talking to multiple businesses. Now, the way that my deals work is I work exclusively with one company. So if I'm doing concrete in Minneapolis, just an example, just came to my head. I am only going to work with one concrete company in Minneapolis. So I use that to my advantage, and I use that as leverage, and I let them know that. I say, hey, we only work with one company. So I'll go out and I'll start cultivating a couple of relationships. And so I will strategically stack appointments. What I mean by that is I will get to the end, I'll send a couple of leads, and we'll have a Zoom call scheduled with the prospect that I really want to talk to. That's the one I want to close. That's the one that is most likely to close. And then I'll talk to the other one, and I'll make sure to stack an appointment, 2 hours later with them. It doesn't need to be as serious. It could just be, a discovery call. It could just be a check-in, whatever, but I'll schedule a call 2 hours after my actual close. What I'm doing there is, and then here's the key, is I call the business owner and I say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, just wanted to make sure, and we've already confirmed, we've already planned this. I say, just want to make sure we're good for 2 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, okay. And then I'll say this: the reason that I'm just double checking because I have another company that's super interested. I've been talking to, and you could even drop it. Hey, it's XYZ company. I'm talking to them at 4. I do plan on canceling that appointment as long as we can work something out. But I just want to let you know so that we don't like spill into that one or whatever. As long as you're going to be on time, we're good to go. What am I doing there? I'm already building urgency. Now, when I get on the phone and we get to the end and they're on the fence and they have that instinct that, oh, let me just tell them that I want to think about it. And they can't do that because you've already told them you have that appointment. Okay. And they already know that you work exclusively with one company. So if somebody says, hey, can I think about it? You say, absolutely, go ahead. But as I told you, I've got an appointment at 4. I work with one company. If those guys decide to go for it, then I can't guarantee anything. So if this makes sense, let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. And that literally just squashes that objection. Period. Now, here's what's interesting when you do that. The people that just couldn't tell you no, it's just gonna be a relief for them. It's just an excuse for them. They're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I understand if you got to work with them, then no problem, but keep me in mind. That person was never going to do it. Them thinking about it was just an excuse because they didn't want to tell you no, and you just saved yourself time. But here's what's cool is the people that are on the fence, the people that really are interested, they've tasted those leads, they went and gave the estimates, they maybe even closed the deal, and they really want to do this. They're just a little uncomfortable because they're not used to making decisions and they're whatever. Those people, you are going to tip them your direction. You are going to tip them your direction. And it's incredible because in your head you think, well, if I let 10 people think about it, then I'll probably close more deals, because by doing this, you are running the risk that they say, you know what, well, if you're going to talk to somebody else, then that's fine. And they could get all mad. And that does happen from time to time. But I'm telling you, you will close so many more deals by making it up in your head that you are getting a yes or no on that call. And that's a whole new topic. But by getting the yes or no on that call, even if you make sure that you tell them, hey, I don't do maybes, is if a maybe's a no and you call it off yourself, I would rather take that than a maybe. And I got to think about it. And this is one of those deals where we can literally squash that objection because we're creating urgency. If not, then it's really difficult when they come first and say, hey, let me think about it. And you're like, oh, well, actually, I didn't mention this, but we have another meeting this afternoon. Now what they're thinking is like, this guy is absolutely full of crap. He's just trying to come back, whatever. And they don't believe you, okay? But when you position it beforehand like that, it makes sense to them, and it creates that urgency, and it will get you that answer. And I do that with every objection. So I do that exact same thing with decision makers. I'll send a video right before I get on the call, and I'll basically go through everything. I'll show some case studies, and I'll say, hey, just if you have a partner, a spouse, and I'll even joke, or a dog, cat, grandma, sister, whatever it is that needs to be on this call, please get them on the call and respect my time and yours. Okay. Please get them on the call. Make sure all decision makers are present. And if you watch my previous videos, do not make added pressure. Don't say, because I need a yes or no. Don't say that. But just make sure they understand, okay, we need to make sure all decision makers are present. And that right there is another way. That's how I squish another objection. And I do the same thing, and I go over it and over and over it. Anyway, I think you guys get the point. The close is literally in the setup. Okay. That's when no one is expecting it. Everyone expects you. All business owners expect you to get on the close, the last call, and come with all your guns blazing and all of your this and that and the rest. I come the opposite. I come really relaxed. I pulled all the pressure off. I let them know I'm just looking to see if this is a good fit. When in reality, I already know this deal is closed because I've already smashed all the objections. I've let them taste out, I say taste because I think about it like a sample, like Costco. I've already let them try out these leads for free. I know this deal is done, so of course I'm calm. And then in their heads, it makes them calm. We get to the end. I grab the credit card and we shake and bake. Guys, if you like what you're hearing, join my Facebook group. It's free. The link's going to be somewhere in the description or on this video, and I will see you inside. There's tons of stuff like this. We do interviews, case studies. I do a coaching call once a week. It is incredible stuff. Check it out.